A joyous holiday gift, the Nutcracker, performed by the Bolshoi Ballet with Mrs. Betty Ford as storyteller. Then Father Knows Best, Home for Christmas.
It's a little hard to tell people your children aren't coming home for Christmas.
The Anderson family faces an emotional holiday. Next is Dean Martin's Christmas in California with Dean and guests including Linda Lavin, Chico and the Man's Gabriel Melgar, and Jonathan Winters. The Nutcracker, Father Knows Best, Home for Christmas, and Dean Martin's Christmas in California. Sunday starting at 7, 6 Central Time.
Christmas morning, I ran down the stairs. I ran toward the fireplace. I flew through the air. I looked at my stocking. There was no Christmas joy. I got a stupid stocking stuffer instead of a toy. I got fruit. I got a freaking orange. Yeah, I got fruit. I got a freaking orange. Yeah. So I looked at my mother, I looked at my dad. I asked, why would Santa bring me something stupid like that? Of all of the things that I had asked Santa for, why would he get my stocking stuffer at a grocery store? I got fruit. I got a freaking orange. Yeah, I got fruit. I got a freaking orange. Yeah. 30 years later, I have my own kids. They run down the staircase exactly like I did. They look in their stockings, tears fill their eyes. I feel their pain as they realize they got fruit. They got a freaking orange. Yeah, they got fruit. They got a freaking orange. Yeah. They got a stupid stocking stuffer, a stupid stocking stuffer, a stupid, 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 stupid stocking stuffer, a stupid stocking stuffer, a stupid stocking stuffer, a stupid, 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 stupid stocking stuffer. They got fruit, and it sucks.
The Livestream Code and Rating Administration has rated this online event PG. All ages admitted. Please be kind and stay on topic.
Four pals just hanging out, nostalgia in the air. Classic shows to celebrate with laughter we all share. We call it a RetroPALooza. It's an hour or two of fun. We're nerding out together and we could probably use some sun. Oh, we're the Retro Pals, living in the past, broadcasting memories that forever last. RetroPALooza, where the old scenes play. Laugh until the night turns into day.
It's about freaking time. That's all I can say.
Wow, we got right to it.
Indeed, we did. RetroPALooza number 8. I'm Dave Sundstrom. You have stumbled upon the Good Stuff Live, where we talk about music, movies, mostly TV from decades gone by. And every now and again, I invite these fellers, my retro pals, to hang out with me for something that we call RetroPALooza. And I don't know, when was the last time? Was it summertime when we got together?
Wow. 68, wasn't it? I think, or 69.
You said 68.
Oh, I'm not going to touch that one, Thrash. That's where somebody.
That's what she said.
Oh, no. Thank you. You cut off my punchline. We would already been down in the toilet already. Can't do it. Hi, Happy holidays, everybody.
Merry Christmas. Happy birthday.
Wholesome.
Happy birthday.
All that good happy stuff. Why don't we say Happy Christmas over here? How come it's just Happy Christmas over in the UK?
Well,
What's the
because
deal with it?
because they're wrong. I mean,
They're
they speak with accents over there. I mean, I don't know. I don't get it.
So, boy, best of luck to you.
Bloody
boys. Pip, pip, that's a good chap.
It's because we don't understand what philosopher means. They had to change the title of the Harry Potter book to Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone
yeah.
for us to understand,
Yeah.
not Philosopher's Stone. So that's why, I guess.
Sounds better to me. Sounds better
Yeah.
to me. Although I do kind of like Happy Christmas. Maybe it's just because I heard a song with Happy Christmas in it today, and I thought, oh man, that sounds good.
John Lennon.
Happy Christmas.
Yep. Yep.
And after hearing that I got an orange, I'm thinking, Dave, then I got to start a band.
That's right.
The
Well, you
Offspring
know,
hires their singer too. You're the guy.
oh, that was AI. The voice was AI there. The song was mine. The voice was AI. But yeah, that's scars, right? That's what we do with the scars from childhood. We write stories, we sing songs, we turn it into mirth, hopefully.
We got
If not mirth, mayhem. What's that,
pecans
Barry?
and walnuts. I hated that when we could get pecans and walnuts. That's just not what I like them today, though. Give them to me all you want, but
Sure. They're
not
good.
when I was 10. No.
We even got pencils. I mean, imagine getting like pencils in your Christmas stocking.
What an insult.
My parents, they just found stuff laying around and filled the stockings.
I got a trowel one year.
Trowel.
Trout?
Well, no, I couldn't go fishing with it. It was more like you're planting all day next week, Pat. So Merry Christmas.
I think like a trout fish, like a trout. Like,
Hey, I've got a little bit of business
Holiday
to
trout.
take care of, which is we got a brand new member already from the live stream. Sister Sarah, My Flock is Everywhere, has become a channel member. Thank you so much for joining this wonderful community. Sarah is doing her best to extend that community. She has her own community. I know Thrash has shown up and hung out with her and Danny and others in the past, and she's got some good stuff going on over on her channel. So, folks, if you haven't subscribed to her, please do so. But thank you so much, Sarah, for joining this channel and becoming part of our community as well. Really valued member. And she even went as far as to gift another membership. I'm not quite sure how the channel membership things work. I don't think she gets to choose. I think she just says she pays for a membership and then YouTube gives it to someone that they deem worthy. But thank you. Very, very holiday-esque of you, Sarah. Thanks for doing that.
Holiday-esque.
You mean there's something you don't know about on YouTube, Dave?
The
the
whole
world doesn't make sense.
The gifting of channel memberships, I do know. I know that it not randomly, it gets assigned to someone. But I feel like if someone pays to gift a membership, they should be able to choose who that membership goes to. That's just my. But I'm sure YouTube knows better, right? They've got it figured out. All right.
Algorithm knows best.
Right. Google knows best.
Just don't play any Beatles or Eagles songs, man. Oh, I hate that.
We have a lot of folks here, and folks, we're going to do things a little bit differently tonight. Normally, I would try to scroll through the list of names and say hello to everybody, but that is not going to work tonight because what I tasked these fine fellers with was they said, I think it was around Thanksgiving, right, guys? We said, let's get together. Let's do something around Christmas, around the holidays. And we landed on our favorite holiday commercials. And so everybody has sent me a bunch for us to show tonight. I think we've got 12 or 13. So we've got quite a few to go through. So
you mean we didn't all pick the same one?
Well, hey, you guys all picked one of the same one. Yes,
I believe it.
Good.
I
I know what it is. I bet I could guess, but
Yeah, it will be the very first one that we show because we're going to go chronologically tonight. So I'm going to just start with like the first one we had was from 1971. We'll watch it. We'll talk about it. But I do want to say hello to everybody that's in the chat. And when we get done with the commercials, I'm going to go back and I'm going to look, and if there's any milestone messages, we'll make sure we hit those milestone messages. Any super chats, we'll make sure we hit those. We'll do that at the end of the live stream tonight. I see more gifting of memberships going on, so we'll make sure we talk about those as well. All that we'll do when we're done looking at all these commercials. So what do you say? Are you fellas ready?
I'm always ready.
Ready as I'll ever be.
I was born ready.
All right. Our first one is from 1971, and it's the one that I think all of us, when we think about holiday commercials, I say it's from 1971, but it played forever and ever, much like the Mikey Life cereal commercial that played for like 12 years. I think this one may have even played longer than that because the version we're watching is one that's more recent, but this one first aired in 1971. Let's play it and we'll chat.
I'd like to buy the world a home, furnish it with love, grow apple trees, honey bees, and snow white turtle doves. I'd like to teach the world to sing in perfect harmony. I'd like to buy the world a coat and keep it company. That's the song I'd like to teach the world to sing in perfect harmony. I'd like to buy the world a coat and keep it company.
Superman.
Yeah. I don't have my candle, but I have my Diet Coke here handy. That's my way of showing my affinity for this commercial.
Wow.
What are your memories, guys?
I have some Coke. Hold on a second.
Well, it's funny because someone in the comments section just mentioned the Mr. Owl Tootsie Pop commercial, and those are right about the same time frame initially. And I remember I was a very, very small kid, and I remember both of those in their inception. And I remember when I watched this commercial, and again, I was like 4, and I almost didn't realize it was a commercial because I remember laughing. They would always have those little musical numbers. I thought it was like something like from a variety show or something. And then at the end, they're all drinking CocaCola. So it was like a musical number I could relate to. Or isn't that the commercial? So, and of course, it had to do with Christmas. And when I was a kid, I still like Christmas now, but I was over the moon for Christmas. So anything that made Christmas sort of more relevant, it was a way of making us all feel enfranchised, just like the holiday specials themselves. So yeah, this commercial, I think it's the first one that I really carried with me from year after year.
Was it originally a Christmas commercial?
It was not. Well, it was not. And the song was originally not a Coke song. They changed some words because this was a hit pop song in the late 60s, I believe. They changed some words, made it a Coke commercial, not a Christmas commercial. Right. But then further tweaks, and we have this piece of commercial perfectionism.
It evolved.
Yeah.
It kept evolving. I think it's the word that I'm groping for.
It followed the money.
British pop group called the New Seekers were the singer of that song, and it was I don't think I'm going to go too far out on a limb and when I say that this might be, in my humble opinion, the most successful advertising campaign in history. You could pick 2 or 3 more, but this has got to be at least one of them because I was I was like 5 years old when that came out.
Yeah, because you and I are about the same age.
Yeah, and I was obsessed with that song and that commercial for a long time. It just stuck in my head. And as a kid, someone said it earlier. That's the first commercial that I actually remembered and got soldered into my brain, and I could sing it over and over again. How appropriate that was. I mean, 1971. They did a Hilltop reunion, as you know, in 1990, and brought it back again with a lot of the same people. And they filmed that on a hilltop outside of Rome, Italy, is where that's filmed. Believe it or not, it's not in the United States. They did it in Rome. And how you must be a pretty popular spot if they include you in the finale of a TV show. And I'm talking about Mad Men. Yeah. Don Draper in Mad Men, who came up with that Coca-Cola song at the end. He thought of it while doing yoga in the very last episode. And you think, well, he went on to make $1 billion to do that. And it was included in that. So a legendary spot for sure. Yes.
Yeah. I wonder if anyone in the chat can say, I've never seen that commercial or never heard that jingle. I would be shocked if there was someone who can say that.
Me too. Yeah.
I don't think anybody's going to say that.
No. There are tribes in the Amazon jungle as yet untouched by man who can sing along with that jingle.
Sure. Only from young age or a very young person might not have seen it. I might excuse that. But yeah, I don't see anybody saying it so far. I'm looking over there. I don't see anything.
All right. Well, with that, let's jump ahead 8 years to 1979. Pat, I think this may have been one of yours. So we'll watch it, and then you can lead us off on our conversation about it.
Holidays were made for Michelob. Holidays were made for special friends.
What better beer than Michelob for the holiday season? Special enough to make the right impression, friendly enough to show you care. No wonder Michelob has become a holiday tradition.
Holidays were made for Michelob.
Angel?
Yeah. You got to think Blake Carrington is drinking Michelob.
Charlie's Angels. Angels, I have some Michelob for you to pick up today.
It's the Angels' favorite.
It is. Leave it to Pat to add a beer one. That's great. Good old Michelob, yeah.
My favorite. Michelob.
Well, holidays were made for Michelob, you know.
Yes, they were, yeah.
What a great line. I don't think I've had a Michelob since, just right out of high school. So, yeah. It was as a beer connoisseur, it was a step up above Coors and Budweiser.
Yeah, wasn't it the champagne of beers, or I don't know.
That was Miller.
What was that one?
That was Miller. Emily will know all about that. Okay. Gotcha, Emily. Anyway,
but a good jingle though. That one sticks with you. It's really good.
Yes, I couldn't tell you right now. All I was like, John Forsythe. He is not the most interesting man in the world.
No,
that's Barry King. But
that's a great.
I thought that was pretty neat. Pretty neat that he did that. You know,
I was wondering how many we were going to match on. I figured it would be one, and that's the one before it. The Hilltop Singers was a good one, but that's a great one too. And I'd seen that one, and I didn't pick it. I didn't get it on my list because I could only pick 3.
Well, you gave me a bonus today.
I did. You're not supposed to say anything to the other guys about that. I just you a bonus about it.
I hear nothing.
I think Pat gave me 4 too. So
okay, then it's all right.
Yeah, it's fine.
Barry always gives me a bonus. I mean, a bonus. Yeah. Bonus.
Did anyone notice that commercial ran a little fast?
It did. Yeah,
it was 20 seconds long. As you know, I pulled this off of YouTube. And it was 20 seconds long there, but I'm pretty certain just the speed in which everything went and the speed of John Forsythe speaking, I think that was supposed to be a 30-second.
Oh, it's supposed to be 33 1/3, and we had it on 78. I don't know what happened.
We did. All right, let's move on to this is your bonus one, Barry, and I'm glad you submitted this one because let's watch it and then we'll talk.
Merry Christmas, Merry, Merry Christmas from your Kmart Christmas store. Save on sweaters and on hats, bowling balls and baseball bats.
Cameras, TVs, bikes and plants, goldfish, bat toys, slivers, pants.
Mirrors, dresses, perfume, socks, toasters, roasters, robes and clocks. Candy, records, films and toys at Santa Land for girls
So go ahead. I'll let you lead with this one, Barry.
Well, I guess sometimes department stores are regional in America. I think Kmart was nationwide for the longest time, and sometimes you'd have go, oh, I remember that one commercial, but it played only in my city. But Kmart and Sears, two great department stores we remember growing up with, unfortunately, are no longer with us. And I never thought that there'd be a time where I'm like, I can't go to Kmart, you can't go to Sears anymore. We've reached it. So Kmart was Kmart and Sears too, to a certain extent. They had a personality about them. I mean, you had the Kmart blue light special sale, then they bring the police light, the strobe light come out, and I always wanted to take one of those home with me when I was a kid, and I saw that thing. I would have put it on my bike and act like I was a cop. But that's just catchy little jingle, the little Kmart jingle, and we did go shopping at Kmart when we were kids with mom because Sears was all right, but Kmart was affordable for some of us. So, and Walmart, I guess, has since spilled that thing now, but I don't know that Walmart has as much personality as Kmart did in some of these other stores. But yeah, that's a great one, and that one had different variations too over the years, but that was the one I remember the most.
And we not only heard it on TV, but whenever you went into the store, they had just that, the intercom system piping the Muzak, but in between the Muzak, you had those commercials going. If it wasn't that, it was Dusty Lens Cap for the Kmart camera department.
And definitely, and being in radio myself, I always remember that commercial was on the radio as well. We would hear that same jingle for Kmart on the radio as well.
Very catchy. I spent a good part of a decade working at Kmart. From when I graduated high school, I took a 2-year break when I spent some time in Spain, and then came back and worked and met my wife at Kmart.
Wow.
And then even after I started my career in financial services, I was so nervous about starting a career in financial services that I worked at both jobs. I worked full-time for Fidelity Investments, and then I worked in the evenings for about 6 months until I was certain that, hey, I'd stumbled upon the career that was going to work for me.
So, Dave, are you saying your wife was a blue light special
or a red light?
Oh,
special?
she was. Speaking of blue light specials, no, I would never say that. That would get myself in a lot of trouble. She's the gem, the greatest find ever at Kmart. But I loved running the blue light special thing. I loved it. That was the most fun ever because there really wasn't, way back then, there wasn't really a science to the pricing. And you had a lot of leeway in terms of what you pricing, and you could literally blow things out that you needed to get rid of at 90% off. Wow. And they truly were back in the late 70s, early 80s. Those blue light specials were incredible. Later on, with computers and all that stuff, and they tried to do the blue light thing online as well. It lost a lot of its magic, but boy, great memories. And those Christmas jingles were fantastic.
So in other words, Dave, we worked retail during Christmas a few times in our lives, so we grew to hate Christmas for a while, and then we learned to love it later. It took me a while to do that.
I hated the crowds, but loved the season. I never didn't love the season.
Oh, I worked in a record store, and
that was my dream.
It was a dream job, but a very, very popular Christmas present. So we were slammed constantly, and it's great. Made the day go by a lot quicker.
Yeah.
No blue light specials.
I remember when I went to the video store, I'd put in like a movie, like It's a Wonderful Life or something, and I'd start ringing people in, and all of a sudden someone would be like, can you put another movie in? This one's over. And I go, what do you mean it's over? I just put it. Holy cow. Like literally just 2 hours would go by, just vroom, 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 without even noticing it. And and you don't see those types of crowds anymore. It's almost sad. Now, Mrs. Thrash still works in a mall, and I guess they're very busy now. But I mean, no, you don't understand very busy. I mean, it used to be, the joke was you had to find a parking spot within hitchhiking distance of the mall. And a mall, sometimes the lines were actually going out the door, literally, like people were like waiting to get in.
Yeah.
You could spend 20, 30 minutes just in line at the register. I mean, it was like the New York Stock Exchange. And you know what? When you worked in that environment, all I ever thought of was it doesn't get any better than this. And it didn't.
It's something that we all four experienced that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Very
Very
much
magical time. Very magical.
The Sears wish book that we always got for all the toys. And you can do a whole show on that. I mean, it was just great.
Don't even get me started on those Christmas catalogs. Oh, I love those things. All right. The next one is one that at least two of you, I think maybe, two of you, Pat and Barry, I think you both submitted this.
It was inevitable.
Thrash, if you did, my apologies, but let's go ahead and watch it. We're all the way up to 1981.
Christmas is a time for closeness, and closeness is what Nelco razors are all about. The shiny new silver rotary razors in cord and rechargeable models with 36 blades, 9 closeness settings, and no gotchas. And the Ladybugs, the ladies' razors that really work. And the Ladybug Salon, a ladybug razor plus 11 grooming attachments. Nelco, even our name says Merry Christmas.
Yep. Yep.
Didn't submit, but do remember.
Right, but I remember, and I think you guys do too, right? An earlier version of that one.
Yeah. There were a number of them.
That spot started in 1961. In black and white, and it was similar, the same type of animation like Rudolph. It's that Rankin Bass type claymation stuff, but it was not done by Rankin Bass. It was a full. It wouldn't be until like 3 years later than Rankin Bass Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer would come out. So this was done by somebody completely different. But that commercial always meant to me, for years, it started meaning to me that Christmas has started on television. I'd start seeing that.
Right.
That meant that was it.
I recall seeing those on the Rudolph specials and the Rankin Bass stop motion stuff. It seemed like they always paired that commercial. That commercial always showed up somewhere during those shows.
And we couldn't even shave at the time. Come on, we're all too young.
Hey, that line about the no gotchas, false advertising. And then what I mean by that is if it caught one of your real hairs,
right? Oh,
good. That's what would happen. It would take the real hair out.
And some of the skin.
Yeah.
They did a new one in 1997, if I recall, and used more computer animation for it, in 97 or better, what they call better effects. And that one played for a while. And then it went off and they revived it again around 2011. It came on again. Now, as of today, 2024, I have no idea if it's back on, or I haven't seen it. So
it's got to be stop motion or nothing.
It's about time for it again, don't you think? Let's bring it back.
Definitely, definitely.
Time for a new one. Yep. Although, as Thrash and I were commiserating prior to the start of this thing, if it's not some sort of life insurance policy or pharmaceuticals, do they have room for these kind of classic commercials anymore?
Side effects include death.
Right.
I don't want to.
If you explode, contact your doctor. Yeah, I would have done that anyway.
I don't want to see a claymation Santa Claus riding on a big Viagra tablet. I don't want to see that.
Ho, ho, ho. Any around here?
Talk about a blue special.
That's right. Always me, isn't it? It's always me.
All right, 1982.
Look, Becky's buying me Aqua Velva for Christmas. It's for me.
Would he like this?
Well, what's he like?
Oh, tall and strong and handsome.
Then he's an Aqua Velva man.
An Aqua Velva man.
Aqua Velva gift sets. Ice blue refreshment guaranteed to let him know he's pretty special.
Great. Dad'll love it.
Her dad? I don't believe it.
Merry Christmas to Aqua Velva men everywhere.
One of my submissions, and I know it probably only played in 1982, but very memorable for me. I think I may have had a little crush on Becky there, just like those two fellers. And Aqua Velva, I'm pretty certain that I picked up some Aqua Velva 82, thinking that it would turn me into a whole new person, which it didn't.
Blue light special. Mm-hmm.
That's right. I was still over there running the blue light specials.
My dad was an Aqua Velva man. He was also a high karate man.
Mine as well.
That was his two favorite fragrance.
Those were great commercials. Oh, I love that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Merry Christmas, Aqua Velva.
Yeah. All right. Another one that I found and recalled and liked because of a shout out. This is a fast food commercial where they actually shout out a competitor in the commercial. So also from 1982.
Now the most important message of all from Burger King.
Have yourself a merry little Christmas. May your days be bright. From now on, your troubles will be out of sight. So have yourself a merry little Christmas now. Merry Christmas, McDonald. Happy New Year. Happy holidays, everybody. Ho, ho, ho.
A kinder, simpler time when number 2 in the Burger Wars could say Merry Christmas to number 1. Nice.
And launched the careers of several little actors.
McDonald's or Burger King?
That was Burger King.
Okay. Thought I recognized the uniforms, and I.
Oh yeah, those Burger King uniforms were something else.
Well, they had it their way.
Yes, they did. Yes, they did.
Launched the career
in 1980. Yeah, in the early 80s, an actress named Melinda Kulia showed up in a bunch of different Burger King commercials. You guys remember Melinda? What show she was on?
I don't remember Melinda.
I didn't know there was going to be a test.
I know.
Yeah, the A-Team. She was the first of the ladies that George Peppard ran off the show.
I knew the other 3 in the commercial. I knew who the other 3 were there.
Really?
You recognize the other 3?
Yeah, because that was Sarah Michelle Gellar was the little girl singing there at the end.
I think you're right.
The girl in the middle, who was that in the middle? I think it was Leah Thompson in the middle. Leah Thompson, Back to the Future. And the girl on as you looked at the screen on the right, I think that was Elizabeth Shue. I think it was.
We're going to watch it again. Stop.
Yeah, we got to watch this again. Yeah.
Better down on that.
Watch it close.
New eyes. We're watching again. Ready, set, go.
Now the most important message of all from Burger King.
Have yourself a merry little Christmas. May your days be bright. From now on, your troubles will be out of sight. So have yourself a merry little Christmas now. Merry Christmas, McDonald. Happy New Year. Happy holidays, everybody. Ho, ho, ho.
Amazing.
You have an eye. That definitely is Sarah Michelle Gellar.
Yeah, and the Back to the Future girl. And
Leah
that
Thompson.
that was Elizabeth Shue.
So, now, there's another Burger King ad that has along that same time Meg Ryan in it, because Meg Ryan was in a Burger King commercial about the same time too. So BK, well, not me, but BK launched a lot of actresses.
Nice promo there, Barry.
I destroy actresses' careers. They launched them, so it's a difference.
Now, if they'd only really worked there, that would have been phenomenal. They might have been the number one burger joint.
This is why Barry has his own radio show. He knows stuff like this.
Well, I know a lot of things on management. That's why I get to be on the air all the time.
It's pretty impressive, Barry. Pretty impressive.
It's just wasting a lot of time reading and watching stuff. It's not really wasted, but to some people it is.
We're staying in 1982 for the next one. This is a submission from Pat.
Only from Atari. Made especially for systems from Atari. The video game that lets you help E.T. get home. Just in time for Christmas. Happy holidays.
Well, that almost seems like a good game.
Oh, yeah.
It's not.
I was going to say, wasn't that one of the biggest financial disasters Atari ever had?
They rushed it to market. Yeah, rushed it to market. Didn't give the programmer really enough time to make a decent game. and
it was bad.
Thousands and thousands of copies sealed, still in the box, ended up in landfill somewhere in California.
They had a bonfire somewhere. I heard even.
Which are now worth
the
millions.
Kroll video game was better than ET. Kroll was better than that.
If you have one, you're probably going to be the richest person ever.
If I remember correctly, he was so rushed. He actually used it was a different concept of a game, and he sort of superimposed ET in it.
As Frogger.
So there was like no cultural relevance. So when people actually played it, they're like, what does it have to do with ET? This isn't ET. It has nothing to do with ET. What is the ET?
Yeah.
So
You're just trying to cross the street. I don't get it.
Yep.
Unreal.
But I had
we actually had that game, and it was not fun.
That's why
it's a great commercial. The commercial's great, though. I got to give it to him.
Oh yeah, I would have asked for it. Someone did in my house. It was probably Steve. I was a little older at that point. Steve was probably the recipient, the unlucky recipient of that gift.
That's for you, Steve. And an orange.
Right. 1985 for our next one. This one, I don't really remember this one. This was, I think, a Thrash Pondo submission. So you're first up afterwards, Thrash. But apparently this one is quite well known and beloved. So here we go.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Everyone's asleep. Shh, I gotta wake them up. Come on.
Happy holidays from Folgers.
Oh, Peter back from the penitentiary.
Yeah, I know. The implication was college, but doesn't college usually wrap up? Don't the finals wrap up a few days before Christmas? What was he doing for all these days in between? Did he do like a drug deal with Escobar and then get back just in time for Christmas?
He was paroled.
I thought it would have been funny if they come downstairs and say, "Who the hell are you? What are you doing here?"
Is there a problem with AWOL?
I do remember that spot, though. I remember that commercial.
I always love that commercial, just the idea of like people making it home for Christmas just under the wire, because, there's always like some drama around Christmas, travel plans get messed up, vacations get screwed over, someone has to work. So it's all when someone gets there under the wire, it just sort of becomes a Christmas miracle. In the days before the Hallmark movies, I always found that commercial very entertaining.
It's a mini Hallmark movie.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
And the comments on the videos, there's like 3 or 4 versions of that one of varying quality on YouTube. The comments are priceless, much like the Amazon reviews. There's some really great Amazon reviews out there. The comments on those commercials are priceless regarding what might have happened after. To your point on why was Peter so late, all sorts of things. It's a fun read, and if you ever have time, it's well worth your time to go back and read those comments.
The smell of that coffee when freshly opened.
Yeah.
You guys remember that opening those things?
Yeah.
Just like never had that smell again. But as soon as you got that top off, it was like, oh, coffee heaven.
Oh yeah.
Well, that
being raised in a Mormon home, Pat, I didn't have that experience. But I will tell you this: every time I walked down the coffee aisle, in the grocery store, I loved it. I loved the smell of coffee. Oh. Mm.
Well, in the Star Trek episode, City of the Engine Forever, McCoy, what wakes him up is when the mission is serving coffee, even says it specifically, that coffee just smells like heaven. And she's like, ah! And she like nurses him back to health. But it's literally the smell of coffee. Exactly. He knows he's on Earth because they have coffee.
How's the old saying go? Wake up and smell the coffee. Hey, come on.
That's right.
They don't say anything else but coffee.
You know, that commercial, I think another reason it's so successful, that little girl is so darn cute in it. Just cute little girl. All right. 86. This might be another one of yours, Bob. Let's see.
Since the decline in my fortune, I've had to scale down my entertaining. In fact, this year, it's just dogs and myself.
Holiday cheer, Your Grace.
Ah, we still have Schweppes. Tonic water, club soda, ginger ale.
Schweppermesses. If only we had guests to share it.
I took the liberty, sir.
Should old acquaintance be forgot and ne'er.
It seems you're still a rich man, Your Grace.
Should old
Schweppes.
Yes. If you guys remember, that was actually part of a whole series of Schweppes commercials
There were
where
different ones,
the sort of fallen from grace English noble has no more money but still enjoys his Schweppes. And I always loved that one, you know, because his friends still come to visit him, like something out of It's a Wonderful Life, or that very, very, very famous episode of Dragnet. Remember when it turns out the little kid stole the baby Jesus?
Yes.
And the priest is trying to apologize to Friday. He goes, well, they're poor. And Friday goes, are they, Father? Are they? And it's just that great ending. Like, no matter how poor you are, you can still have an excellent Christmas, which it varies wildly in reality, but it's a wonderful message and a great one for TV to share with us.
Love it.
Carbonated.
Yeah.
Now, if you
only
mentioned
3
the-
beverages. That's all he could have. And they're I guess the ginger ale one would be okay, but the soda water and the club soda, yeah.
Depends on what you mix them with.
yeah, exactly. You have to mix it.
Got to be holding the booze. Where is it? I know it's there.
Not mixing it with Michelob, that's for sure.
You know, actually, you can mix it with cranberry juice, and it's delicious, and there's no alcohol. Soda water and cranberry is fantastic.
Take it from this guy.
That and gin.
I remember thinking way back then that Schweppes was kind of a fancy thing, though. Did you guys back then, or do you still think of Schweppes as like a fancier, finer kind of soda?
When I was a kid, the only place I saw Schweppes was either on airplanes or there was a golf club like down the street from me. When it was closed in the winter, we used to slide up and down the hill it had on it. But it was the only place with walking distance where you could get sodas, and they always had Schweppes. They had Schweppes ginger ale.
That Schweppes ad, if you'd mentioned it to me and tried to describe it to me, I wouldn't have remembered it. But now that I saw it, I'm like, okay, now I've seen it. I remember them now. So it took me to have to see it to remember it. And it's all coming back to me now. So I do remember that.
Okay. This next one is one I guarantee. I can't remember who submitted this, but I think everyone remembers this one. Yeah, 1989. A little bit of genius there. Whoever came up with that one.
And it's still running. 35 years later, it's still running.
And it's so simple, but effective. I mean, come on. You can close your eyes and listen to it and know what it is.
Yeah.
And Kisses are still popular, you know?
Exactly. And it's a marketing buzzsaw. You make the foil you wrap them with Christmas colors. What could be simpler? And of course, what household doesn't have those little peanut butter cookies that have the chocolate chip?
Right. Yeah.
The big chocolate kiss in the middle. It looks like a Cossack's caps. No.
I love those.
Google it.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, me too. My grandma used to make them. Loved them. Loved them.
And they started coming in the striped form and the candy cane form. And, you know, it was all, they always did it good. So it wasn't like this is a knockoff that is not near as good as the original, but that wasn't the case. I thought everything they did with those were, let's just face it. I like to kiss. I like it to kiss.
Who doesn't?
Kiss.
Yeah. Kisses, they're fine.
But
yeah. So you guys talk about that still being around, still having that commercial. It's a timeless product, right? The next commercial is one that I remember and always giggled at, and it's from 1996, so we're getting a little closer to present day, still a ways away. But and I know that the brand is out there now, but the actual company that was producing this product back in 1996 is defunct, and the IP has been sold off, and that's why there's still these products out there. But let's go ahead and watch it, and we'll talk a little more.
Dear Santa, I want a Fighting Frankie action figure, but not Fighting Frankie. I want the bad guy with a laser and reversible face, but not the bad guy with a laser. I don't know what the heck he's talking about. Awesome! Dear Santa, I want a Fighting Frankie action figure. Another horse? Here, this will help.
Get a Polaroid one-step camera for under $25, and maybe you'll get what you want this year.
I love that. Horse-em! Horse-em!
Brilliant.
I remember that.
Yeah. My youngest son actually bought his girlfriend this year a Polaroid camera. So they're making a comeback, whatever company is now producing them and calling them Polaroids. But yeah.
Do they actually have film, or do you have like a download the photos into the computer?
Nope, it's film. There's this whole, retro community, and we can understand that, right? That really appreciates the old. They're the same folks that are listening to cassette tapes, and they're Gen Zers, right? They're Gen Zers that are listening to cassette tapes, and they're buying these Polaroid cameras, and the film is so expensive. It's like $15 for 10 shots. 10 photos.
Came like in a cartridge, right? It was like an 8-track tape thing, and you shoved it into the camera.
Yeah. I actually got a Polaroid camera when I was a kid for Christmas. It was a great gift. Loved it. And thankfully, I never got horsed. That would have.
And cassette tapes are going to make a comeback. It was in my horoscope.
Woo.
And we'll go back to making mixtapes with the girls in our class.
You know what? That drove Dave right out of here.
Dave's gone.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, if they're coming back, I'm out of here. Oh, he's back. Oh my God. It's true.
Is that a cassette?
Big one.
Is that a cassette?
I was going to say,
cassette.
Boy, John Hall is looking okay, but that Oates guy looks terrible.
They split up.
Anyone remember Young Einstein with Yahoo Serious?
Yeah.
Great soundtrack, by the way.
Yeah.
Can't get it on DVD or anywhere. So I have, when you have soundtracks in particular that you just they're great mixtapes.
Yep.
Full of wonderful songs from decades gone by. And yeah, I still have a Walkman.
Do you have a smart player, Dave? The ones that would actually stop in between the songs? Did you ever have one of those?
I heard of those. I never saw one, but I've
heard something detected. It had to be running over the head to be able to pick up the fact that there was a space between the songs for it to stop, so that you wouldn't have to search and rewind and fast forward and rewind just to get to the beginning of the song, which was always.
Oh, I see what you're saying. You could fast forward and it would just go right to the next song.
Yeah, it would find the gap.
Stop in the gap.
Never had anything that fancy.
Probably wore the tapes out a lot quicker because it would have to be on the head for that to be picked up that there's no audio. But just my my technical prowess showing again. Pardon me.
We have one commercial left. One commercial left, fellers. And this is from 2006. So not that old.
Yesterday.
Right. Can't remember which one of you submitted this one either, but once we watch it, whoever it was, confess up.
Ow. So you think Santa will like these red and green M&Ms?
I don't know. I never met the guy. He does exist.
They do exist. Santa?
Well, a new classic, in my opinion.
That was me. But I also, I noticed Karen Lee put up the Coca-Cola polar bears. Now, I thought I submitted that one. I thought I did. Did I kind of like?
Might have missed it, Pat. I might have missed it.
Cutting room floor.
Flurry of commercials.
The story of my life.
Yeah, that's the one I don't know.
Or am I ruining the future aspects of this stream as I have done in the past? Somebody's
just making me feel bad, man. I'm sorry, man. We missed polar bears.
Too much Coke.
And too much smoke. Mr. Tree, you're in my way.
What can I do to make it up to you? Let me see.
There he goes. He's up. We've driven him away again.
He's got one. I think he's got one.
How to handle a host. One easy lesson.
Let's see. What do we got? We got a lovable plush polar bear. And a couple other polar bears. This one's my favorite right here. He's got the little bottle of Coke there. But
oh, Dave,
I love the polar bears. I wish I'd seen that, Pat, and we would have had one of those too.
Maybe I forgot to send it. I don't know.
Who picked the M&M commercial? Who was that?
That was Pat.
Pat, you know, Pat, the voices of the M&M, the red one, that's Billy West that does Stimpy on Ren and Stimpy. And
Futurama. He's done Fry.
Yeah,
He's Fry on Futurama.
And the yellow M&M, that's J.K. Simmons.
What?
Certainly
Are
is.
you kidding me? That's J.K. Simmons?
Yep, certainly is.
Wow.
That's not his
tempo. Red One.
That's not my tempo.
Has anybody seen Red One yet? He was great in Red One.
Haven't seen it.
It's free to watch now on Prime if you have Prime.
Christmas movie.
Yep. Chris Evans, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. You can't go wrong. You cannot go wrong. All right, that is the commercials. As promised, let's go over to the chat. I'm going to quickly look and see if we have any milestone messages. Looks like we have one from channel member Sean Innes, who says, I'm going to beat you all to this. I think you might have been nope. There is another milestone message. So you did beat Emily, who came in with a milestone message. Let me go back here real quick. Sean has been a member for 24 months. So 2 years you've been a member of this channel. Thank you so much for your support, Sean. And Emily, who did get beat by Sean by mere seconds because they both posted at 8:37 p.m. Eastern, has been a member of this channel, a community member here, supporting through thick and thin, live streams, regular videos. She's always there commenting, and just such a great community member for 31 months. So thank you very much for your support, Emily, as well. And Sean, then catching the holiday spirit from Sister Sarah, My Flock is Everywhere, gifted someone else a membership for 1 month. So thank you so much for doing that, Sean. Truly appreciate it. Gentlemen, as you were looking at the comments, because you're better at looking at it than I am when I'm running the control board here, anything that we need to respond to, I can go over to the comments and see what's going on live right now. But let's see. Sister Sarah says she's seen Red One. Did you like it, Sarah? Let's see. And Nick says he'll check it out. And Emily, in Getting the Christmas Spirit, was watching Speak No Evil before we came on.
She's a very complex person, that Em.
That Emily.
Very complex.
Sure is. A big fan of the show Supernatural, if I remember correctly.
Yes.
Yeah. Let's see what else we've got going on in the chat. Rachel in the 208 says, I hope we will keep this online so I can watch it again. Yes, we will. Rachel, this will be online and available to watch over the course of the next, well, at least through the holidays.
I'll share it like a crazy man, like I always do.
Yeah, let's do.
Me too.
Gary Carpenter says, I still have my audio tapes, but I'm going to have to throw some away. Most of the sounds are gone. Yeah, that's one of the real problems with cassettes, right? Is that it does degrade over time. Physical media.
It's friction on a piece of metal.
I didn't buy a lot of cassette tapes growing up because they would wear out. I would usually buy the record album and put them on my own cassette tapes and listen to them that way and use the records as a backup.
I did that as well. Yep. Use that record album would stay in the pristine afterwards, and the cassette would be the working copy.
Yep.
You guys still have your albums?
Yes, sir.
I have a few. Some of them have never been released on any other like CD or anything. Right. So I've got those. Yeah.
Yeah.
How about you, Pat?
Was in radio too, Barry, and her dad was right at the time of all the classic rock, and she has some of the radio station copies.
Oh wow, yeah,
those are super promo copies.
Those are sought after today,
and tons of 45s. And man, it's like I don't know what to do with them. And I said, honey, have you ever seen how far a 45 can fly when you throw it off the roof like this? It's beyond belief. We're talking 300 yards. Oh, Perry Como.
You throw him at zombies like Shaun of the Dead.
Not Perry Como.
Oh, yeah, he went.
Mr. Relaxation. Let's see. What else do we have here? Sarah says it was a great movie. Yes, it was. I can recommend Red One. I can also recommend, we've been watching a flurry of holiday movies. I can recommend Dear Satan. Or no, it's called Dear Santa. And it's on Paramount Plus. It's a Jack Black movie. He plays Satan.
You, Emily.
A kid who's dyslexic accidentally sends his Christmas letter to Satan instead of Santa, and gets Jack Black to visit him and give him 3 wishes in exchange for his soul. Great movie. And then last night we watched on Netflix a soon-to-be holiday classic starring Jason Bateman and Taron Egerton. I think that's his name. Called Carry On, and it's kind of a Christmas classic in the way that Die Hard is a Christmas classic.
Somebody recommended Carry On to me yesterday.
It's good.
That's a very interesting. Yeah,
he's a bad guy for a change, right?
Yeah, Bateman's the bad guy. Really bad guy.
He better be.
Also, you guys may already know this, but Flashback Cinema is releasing a lot of classic Christmas movies back in the theater again. Check your local listings because we're going next week to see It's a Wonderful Life in the theater on the big screen. Wow, I think the Polar Express is out right now. So they've released a few older movies, and that's what Flashback Cinema does. Check them out. They're great.
Night of the Comet?
Oh, we're all cross-talking. I was
going Night of the Comet? No.
Night of the Comet?
Oh.
I could only wish that they would release that again.
I was going to throw my wish out, which I think is a doable one. Have they ever done National Lampoons?
I think it is out in the theater right now, or it was last week.
Is it really?
Christmas Vacation. Yeah.
Christmas Vacation. Yeah. I'm trying to blank on
flashbackcinema.com.
You guys know what I missed out on last week because of my little drama situation here?
What'd you miss out on?
An interview with Eddie Deason.
Oh, yes. He was in 1941. I remember. What else has he been in?
Grease.
And
most importantly, Polar Express.
Oh, he was. That's right.
And we were going to talk about that because it's playing up here at the Orinda Theater, and he's going to be there. Oh, we've been there, Dave. Wow. And I had that interview, and things went wrong. We got through it, but he was very gracious, and I missed it.
You'll get back on track.
Yeah,
I know you.
Yeah, I'd love to hear that. That would be an awesome interview to hear, Pat.
Yeah, it would have been. Because we were really aiming for a Christmas thing, and the event is in 3 days. So I never would have had a chance to do that. So
I did revisit and share your great interview with Dee Wallace on her birthday the other day. So that was good.
Yeah, she's a neat lady.
That was a great interview.
It was. It truly
Thanks. Was. I fell upon the Kent McCord one. It just came on my podcast, and I didn't even realize it was me. I mean, he was talking, and I was like, "Oh wow, it's Kent McCord." Man, listen to that story he's talking. That's so cool. That's so cool. And all of a sudden, I hear me say something. I'm like, "Oh yeah!" And I'm like, "Oh my God!" But it was like I was like, "Wow."
You know, it was nice. It was nice seeing Kent McCord in playing the captain. Police officer in Predator 2.
Oh, right.
He was in Predator 2 as the captain of the LA Police Department. I thought that was cool to see him in that.
I thought you were going to say it was great to see Kent McCord in Galactica 1980.
And
it was not.
No,
that was less great. He's great, but the show.
Yeah. Hey, speaking of the Orenda Theater, our buddy Tom McCluskey, who we met there, says he got an Evel Knievel stunt cycle for Christmas. I always wanted that. I'd say didn't get it. Got more pencils in my stocking.
And an orange.
Yeah, an orange.
I had the one, not the chopper, but I had the one that you cranked up and it had sparks and the mufflers. The rocket cycle. I had the rocket cycle. It was amazing. I don't know where it went up. I think I ran it over Snake River and it's gone. On vacation.
Channel member Emily Miller, who is complex indeed, says she also likes is AHS. What's AHS?
American Horror Story, I think she means.
American Horror Story. That's exactly what it is. The Boys and Happy's Place. So a little Reba McEntire action as well. Okay.
Which means she must like What We Do in the Shadows. Now, if you guys haven't seen that, you don't know what you're missing.
It's very
What
funny.
We Do in the Shadows. What's that one about?
It's a story. It's like an Office, the show The Office comedy.
Yeah.
But it's vampires living in the same house together.
Oh my goodness.
And the comedy in it is A1. Just love it.
What's it on?
It's very funny. It's very, very funny. And I love the concept because this documentary crew sort of stumbled upon them.
Right.
So it's like a mockumentary. They're just living their lives and they're being filmed. And there's a lot of just very silly drama and whatnot. And it's just done very, very, very well.
It's
very funny.
Brilliant.
It really
is. And of course, the agreement is to not eat the documentary crew.
What streaming service is it on?
It's on Hulu for sure.
Hulu. Okay.
I think. Well, that's where we watch it. And I mean, it is one of the most creative TV shows I've ever seen. So. And funny. So
Rachel in 208 just bought the Falco album. I can only suppose that's what that means. Great album.
Man.
Rock Me Amadeus.
The Commissar.
Well, I was going to say there was Einzelhaft. There was Amadeus. He did at least 3.
Yeah,
he died tragically very young.
Der Kommissar.
The Commissar was on Einzelhaft. Einzelhaft, which roughly translates to how would you say it? Solitary confinement. That was his first album, and I think Amadeus was his last. That was the one that has the song "Genie" on it, which is basically the story of about a serial killer from the serial killer's point of view.
So wasn't Der Kommissar remade in America by After the Fire, another group?
Yes.
Yeah,
that was one of the greatest recordings ever. If you get a chance to hear that, turn it up, and you'll really understand what I mean by that. The production is
top notch, huh?
Some of the best I'd ever heard.
It's an excellent cover. It's one of the few times the cover might actually surpass the original. Yes,
exactly right.
Yeah. Channel member Sean Innes says Dear Satan is a very different movie. It is, but what you have to understand is it's a Farrelly Brothers movie, at least one of the two Farrelly brothers, and because of that, it's going to have some really outrageous humor, but there's still going to be some moments potentially where it's heartwarming. And I mean, I actually admit I shed a bit of a tear at the ending there when the boy got his Christmas wish. So it is a different movie, but well worth the time. At least I thought so. Emily liked it. I'm guessing that's what it means. Channel member Emily. Indy Spoke says my dad had an 8-track recorder. By the way, Indy's coming on over, I think, via your channel, Thrash. My dad had an 8-track recorder. 8 tracks were invented by William Lear, who invented the Learjet. I did not know that.
Wow.
Yep.
Sarah says she's dyslexic.
Indy's a treasure trove of some amazing factoids. He's like my living fact checker. Whenever I get painted into a corner, or when I have that moment where I can't think of what I'm talking about, which sadly happens more and more, he's like, boom. And he is a godsend, particularly to me.
As a musician, 4 tracks were popular, but they weren't enough. When they went to half-inch 8-track, it was, the world changed. It just opened up. Then, of course, came 16, and these are affordable ones. So yeah, those were great. Powerhouses, workhorses. Hard to break.
Yeah. Let's see. Where were we? Raja 1938 says, sounds like something the church lady would have said, the Dear Satan thing. Yes, of course. And Dana Carvey's been showing up on Saturday Night Live and actually redid the church lady skit a couple weeks ago, if I remember correctly.
I think he's been showing up on David Spade's talk show that he's got. They've been hanging out together on a podcast.
Well, David Spade showed up on Saturday Night Live too, as did Adam Sandler. And of course, last week it was hosted by Chris Rock. So it's kind of fun to see some of these old alumni back on the show.
They're trying hard.
They're trying hard. Exactly. Let's see. Sarah says she's dyslexic. Be careful with your Christmas letters then, Sarah. Rachel in the 208 watched Mr. Frosty on Netflix. I do love a good rom-com. I do not get me wrong, but I have had a hard time on that one. Well, I've heard okay things about it. Just this is where Frosty kind of a snowman comes to life, and then the rom-com is the snowman and a young heroine.
Michael Keaton do one like that called
he did. Called Jack Frost.
Yeah, Jack Frost. Okay.
Jack Frost. Yeah, and that was one where that was a sad one because the dad dies and comes back in the form of a snowman. Now, there's, of course, a horror movie that Emily might be familiar with called Jack Frost as well.
Well, I was thinking of Mr. Frost, which is it Mr. Frost? Jeff Goldblum plays a man in an asylum.
I think you're right.
Oh, and it turns out he's actually Satan. And he gets out on a work release and things, hilarity ensues.
Hilarity ensues.
But Jeff Goldblum is riveting in this movie. He really is amazing.
He can act.
Yes, he can. Just saw him in Wicked the other day. We rarely go out to the theaters, 3-4 times a year, but we did last week and went and saw Wicked. He was really good in that, as is the entire cast. Channel member Superplex says Carry On was a good film. Glad you enjoyed it. I enjoyed it more than I thought I was going to, for sure. Let's see what else we got here. And Lance says we have a bot on my channel. I haven't seen it, but if
it went away.
Did it go away? Okay.
Is it a bot fly?
The bots have been rare on my channel. I haven't had to worry about them too much, but
I haven't seen one in a couple of years.
Yeah. YouTube's done a good job.
They used to really come after me. That's why I had so many mods, but my mod squad took them out.
Way to go, mod squad. David Thomas, not of Wendy's fame. Dave Thomas of our YouTube community here says, saw the best Christmas pageant ever yesterday and really enjoyed it. Heard it's good. I, of course, really love the old TV movie with Loretta.
I did a live version twice of Best Christmas Pageant Ever on stage many years ago. It was fun performing it live.
Yeah.
It's a great
It's just a classic story, right? Channel member Emily Miller, referring to Pat's comment earlier, says, I can only imagine It's a Wonderful Life on the big screen. Oh, no, this was Barry who mentioned that. I bet it's awesome. That would be a fun one to see.
I've never seen it on the big screen, so it's going to be great to be able to do that.
Susan's pedals. Susan's pedals.
Yeah, and I'm really bummed out that TCM isn't showing that. Look, I love TCM. I'm a big fanatic of that channel. But they just, for some reason, they're scrimping on the classic holiday films this year.
You know why, right?
Why?
No.
Well, it's all about its parent company, Warner Discovery. And there was a time when a year or so ago when they were doing all their crazy things like canceling feature films that had already been made, i.e. Batgirl and Coyote versus Acme, where they also had they were discussing what to do with TCM, if you can believe it. And Spielberg and some other big guys went and talked to David Zaslav and talked about the importance of preserving this gem, right? It's a treasure.
Oh, yeah.
And
very much so.
So it's still around, but it's not a priority for the current head of Warner Discovery. And as such, we may see moments now and going forward where it feels like they're scrimping and operating on more of a shoestring budget than they should have to.
It's a bummer because the hosts are not about that.
Right.
The hosts are the real deal. I'm a big Ben Mankiewicz fan.
I was going to Mankiewicz is like,
yeah,
he's amazing, absolutely amazing.
And he's a down to earth guy. I'll tell you.
I don't even think I've seen Miracle on 34th Street this year anywhere.
No, but we would have 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's, maybe they'll get their poop together.
Deason was in War Games. I don't remember. I mean, I've seen the movie multiple times, but I don't remember him in it. Let's see. Thank you, Indy. Tom says he loves the Orinda Theater. What's not to love about that beautiful place? Let's see. Oh, hey, I love this. Channel member Emily Miller says, forget getting on the roof to look at the stars. A real romantic takes you up there to toss crappy 45s. There you go, Pat. You're a true romantic.
And a 6-pack of Michelob to go
That's
along
right.
Yeah.
Nowadays, it's Mick Ultra.
And some M&Ms.
The low carb one. Yeah, you're right.
M&Ms? No, all of that.
Oh, M&M.
I'm really scraping. But yeah, it would be fun, Emily. It would.
Channel member Emily
would go farther than yours. Or maybe yours would go farther than mine. Or maybe they'd just end up 45ing together. Kind of a 90. Somebody stop me.
I'm ready.
He's like, let's see.
Channel member Melissa Foster. Channel member Melissa Foster says,
he's digging a hole now.
Playing all the Christmas movies for free this month. They're currently playing Santa Claus the movie.
Wow.
Dudley Moore. Great movie.
I love Santa Claus the movie, and I don't apologize for it. I don't know. It's the Salkinds that made Superman, and I thought it was a great movie.
Right.
Fun.
Dolph Quick says, I don't see 'Twas the Night Before Christmas any version. Could it be Santa that Santa was smoking? Well, he has his pipe in the Clement Seymour poem, but I don't know if that's it. I think they could probably do something to cut that or edit it if they truly felt they needed to.
They edit out Rod Serling's cigarettes in the Twilight Zone so they could edit out Santa's pipe, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Well, they take away Anton Cornelius's gun from his action figure, his little revolver that he carried in Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. He carried a little revolver.
Yes, he
and
did.
his action figure doesn't have it. So there you go.
Gosh.
Cossacks.
Cossacks. You know what? We could spend hours just going through the chat here, and as much as I'd love to, I have promised to keep this one at a lean, mean hour plus. So let's go ahead and call it there. Although I will say Blotchy Bear agrees with you, BK, and says, I kind of like Santa Claus the movie starring Dudley Moore, John Lithgow. Fine movie. There you go.
Lithgow chews it up. He really does in that movie.
Amazing. Just a national treasure, John Lithgow.
And Indy Spote says they don't have the money to preserve great films. They're too busy paying to shove the 47th Fast and Furious down our throats. That's universal, but I get your point. I'm sure that Warner Discovery is going to distribute and produce a number of movies over the course of the next 12 months that maybe not money go to.
Maybe
PC.
Not many more Fast and Furiouses, because I just found out they're removing that ride from Universal. It's gone. So maybe maybe that ship has sailed, I hope.
That was their cash cow. Now it's a sheared sheep.
I think there is another one in the works, right?
I don't know. I haven't seen it.
I don't know. All right. Hey guys, let's tell the folks a little bit about each one of your channels if you guys are up to doing that. We'll just work our way clockwise. Pat, you want to tell the folks about what you do from time to time?
What I do is what I've been doing. As a matter of fact, what I'm doing right now is repurposing the hundreds of tribute shorts to classic television in a vertical format. So you can watch it on your phones, and YouTube likes them as shorts, and Instagram likes them as reels, and same with Facebook. And it's actually given new life to these things. I think based on the views, it seems to be working. And it's great to be able to take that format and repurpose it so more people have an opportunity to look at it, because it's getting more popular to watch these things on your phone nowadays anyway. So that's my project, and it's getting some good response. So Golden Rage of TV, still what it's called. And that's me.
Yeah, I've really been enjoying watching, rewatching, I should say, because a lot of it is you have added a little bit to a few of them, haven't you? Because I've noticed a few changes to some of your shorts.
Yes, I'm adding footage because, hey, they're not watching you on the footage so much anymore. It's like free for all, which is not a bad thing. So we're able to enhance what we've done already. So it's not just me and some interstitial pictures. I can actually throw in a clip of what it is I'm talking about, and it just makes it more interesting. As long as there isn't music involved, they let you get away with it pretty much. So yeah. Thanks for noticing, Dave.
You bet. I'm a big fan of your work, my friend. Bob, why don't you tell folks what you're doing these days?
I'm still doing a little of this, a little of that. Still some modern cutting-edge humor, my dad jokes preferred. But I'm also still doing some stuff with my vintage sci-fi horror fascination. This week I have something a little more contemporary. I'll be posting a retrospect on the Kirsten Dunst film Civil War, which is more dystopian than sci-fi, but it's a good one. And then additionally, I've been working with a number of other creators, in addition to you, Dave, of course. I've been working with Tug on his retrospects on Sunday. I still have my Sunday night live chats from 7:30, although I've been making those up as well. Sister Sarah and Danny Staten have been collaborating with me. We've been putting out some really, really fun podcast type live chats and on various topics. Sci-fi always preferred. So you're still going to see a little of this, a little of that, and I'll be still joining people here, there, and savoir-faire is everywhere. It's everywhere.
Love it. All right, Barry, how about you? What's going on in your world? Oops, wrong.
That's Pat. We can't get enough Pat. We just can't get enough Pat.
Do I have my own radio show now?
You could, but we'll go over to Barry.
Sure, you put up with Alan Sanders. Go ahead. Unlike Pat, but like Pat, I'm going to reformat a lot of my videos on YouTube and put them on there upside down, where everybody will have to take their phones and try to get them right side up, and then they'll go like this, and they'll just completely have to do that all the time. So, no, I'm kidding. I'm the only guy out of all of these good retro pals of mine that actually am on terrestrial radio every Saturday from 10 a.m. till noon, WBHF radio out of Northwest Georgia. I do a lot of what they do, only on the radio. We all do the same thing, but we all do it just a little differently, but we all cover the same type of thing and have a passion for the same thing. I'm a retro radio rocket man. You can stream it on WBHFradio.org if you're not close enough to hear it on the actual radio, or you can download our WBHF radio app that we have. It's so new. It still has that new app smell that you can listen to it. It's great on there and listen live on there, or you can download it. If you ever miss it, there's a place on the app that you can download the show and listen to it in case you missed it. Or you can use TuneIn or Radio Garden. There's a couple other apps out there that have a lot of ads on it if you want to hear commercials. You can email me at bkontheair@gmail.com. And I have a YouTube channel, a Facebook page, an Instagram page, and an X page as well. And I love hanging out with all these guys when we get together and all the chat that happens. And I look forward to it every time. And Merry Christmas to everyone, and God bless us, everyone.
Well said, Barry. I will point out on your YouTube channel you had. Let me bring that back up for a second. It's been a while since you've posted one of your shows on, but you did recently. You posted a month ago your Halloween Spooktacular. I know folks might not be in the Halloween mood right now, but that was a lot of fun, and there were some calls made.
Which is hard to believe because I'm always in a Halloween mood. I don't know why. I just never get out of it. But I'm just holding off. I will start putting the show back on YouTube. I'm just waiting for our app for the newness to wear off. And I want people to go to the app to listen to it. And it'll get back up there eventually. But I do still post some things. You're right.
All right. Well, gentlemen, I have got to say thanks to each one of you for carving out a little bit of your time this evening to hang out with me and watch some old-timey commercials. Thanks for all your submissions. It's a lot of fun to go back and watch some commercials that I haven't seen for a very, very long time, some of them. So, and to everyone hanging out with us tonight in the chat. Let me make sure, I'm just going to go over the chat real quick and make sure we didn't miss any super chats or milestone messages. We didn't. Thank you
Thanks for waiting for me too, guys. I really appreciate that.
Yeah.
It was not a fun weekend last week. And
yeah,
I really
see, I'm looking in the chat. Some folks know what happened. You know, our heart goes out to you, Pat. And thank you for making the time to be with us tonight, even though I know that you still got a lot going on.
Yeah. Well, nothing too tragic. Just, had a fatality of an animal that was unfortunately by me, and he was my favorite animal. Ran under my tire. But a message for everybody: if you ever get bit by a cat, especially one that's in pain, don't ignore it, because we did out of trauma, and my wife ended up in the hospital for 3 days because of it. So there's a little message for you. Cats are lethal.
Yeah.
Anyway, It's all good now, though.
Well,
God bless you, buddy.
Glad to hear she's doing better, and
Yes.
And heart goes out to you in terms of, just losing a family member is what you did, and that's
rain must fall.
Yeah,
so no problem. He's happy.
Yeah. Oh, again, thanks to everybody for hanging out with us tonight, and whatever you celebrate around this time of year, we just hope it's whether it's Christmas, Hanukkah, or something else, Kwanzaa. I mean, I know there's a number of different things one can choose to celebrate. One chooses, or not even chooses, your family celebrates it, so you do as well. Whatever it is, hopefully it's just a joyous time for you and your family. And the most important thing, right, is something that we're actually doing here tonight is just quality time with those you love. These three fellers here, my retro brothers, I truly do love each one of you. So thank you so much.
We love you too.
Mutual.
All right. With that, let me bring on Fred to sing us out of here. And we'll call it an evening. Fred, where are you? Here
Ciao
we go.
for now.
You are special.
Didn't have to do it, but you did. So thank you very much for your support, for your support, for your support. Thank you very much. Click on that thumbnail, cause it's time to go. Dave's got the classics, let the memories flow. TV shows and movies that we all hold so dear. On his YouTube channel, he's keeping memories near. Dave Sundstrom, bringing back the good stuff, oh yeah.